What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Did You Bet Daily for another week. And yeah, like Shoddy said, it is Podcast Thursday here at the Racing News Channel. We've got a bunch of them today, but we kick it off with this show, Papa Dude, for another week. We had a very good week last week. Hopefully, we can keep that going. But let's start with the Thursday night football game. Buccaneers and the Bills. Bills 9.5-point favorites. Over under sitting there at 43.5. Papa Dude, what do you think of this game?
Well, I think the Bills suck. Don't you? I mean, golly, they look bad. I don't know what it is. They don't. Their offense is really screwed up. Seems like Allen's not playing very well, or he's on the run, or there's something going on. They can't get anything going. They're much too good, I think, to be where they are. But then you got Tampa. They can't run the ball, and they're boring as can be.
Yeah.
9.5 is too much. I got the Bucks plus 9.5 tonight.
What do you think's wrong with the Bills?
I can't figure it out.
I think part of it is, and it started like mid-year, probably, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later last year, but I'll just generalize mid-year. Josh Allen sucked.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people, well, we just overrated him. No, I think from before the midpoint of last season, I think he was about as good as anybody in the league. From there on till now, he's been very average. Very, very average.
He throws the ball into coverage some. He just making mistakes. I think he's trying to do too much, is what I think. But they don't run the ball very well.
Yeah.
And are they overrated?
I was banging that drum last year because I watched the games, and I think everybody just not maybe people are listening to this, but a lot of people would just be like, oh, Bills, they'll win easy. They got a great offense. If you watch the games last year, you notice real quick, they're not very good. No. They're not very good. You watch the games this year, he's not very good. The defense is just average.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it just doesn't seem like the offense is clicked. They're not very good. No. Right? And they still get these kind of point totals.
Yeah, that's right. They played one good game. They beat Miami like a drum, and that's been about it. I just think the NFL's awful. I think it's almost unwatchable. I really do. And I think the NFC, Cincinnati's a big disappointment. I mean, who's even going to challenge the Chiefs at this point?
Mm-hmm.
And really, they don't look good. They're winning, and that's what you're supposed to do. You take number 15 off of there, I don't think they're winning.
Yeah.
But you can't. But who's going to challenge them? I mean, is there anybody that can beat them right now in the AFC?
Hard to say at this moment. Everybody does kind of look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who they would be favored against anybody, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I mean you're talking about this because the Bills were one of those teams
that's right.
They should. I think a lot of people when they looked at the Bills last year, like, well, Allen kind of had a little injury, and their defense did lose a lot of players, and it was like, they just didn't have it. But I think everybody kind of thought, okay, this year that they're going to be back, and they're probably worse.
Well, we talk about this all the time too. We talk about the window. Has the window closed on Buffalo? Maybe it has.
Yeah.
Maybe it's closed on them. They had a 3 or 4 year run there, couldn't get past the Chiefs, and the players are getting a little older, and maybe that window's closed. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. By the way, Kevin B was saying that 49ers without Trent Williams aren't as good. Trent Williams is a monster. Don't have to tell us. We watched Trent Williams. He was a monster and is a monster.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, back to this game though. I feel like I'm going to take the under 43.5. I feel like that's
in any pro game, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like that's the bet. The Bills defense or the Bills offense is struggling. The Buccaneers defense isn't bad.
No.
And then on the flip side, the Buccaneers offense, it is putrid, really.
It's horrible.
I think this game goes under. So I went under 43.5 for my bet. If I had to take a side, I'd take the Bucks plus 9.5. I don't feel quite as confident with that.
I think you picked it right because realistically, what's Tampa going to score? Are they going to score more than 17?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't. Is Evans out too? I mean, He's banged up, isn't he?
It is. Let me check the latest on him. He was listed as questionable last I saw. Looks like he's going to play now.
Okay.
He is going to play.
And then Mayfield's banged up, supposedly. I don't know if that matters, but they can't catch the ball. I mean, they should have won Sunday. They dropped some balls, and they had every chance to win the game, didn't.
Yeah.
And you have to win that game. You have to win it.
Yeah, I know. But should be I think it's an intriguing game. I'm just not quite for sure it's gonna be a good game, but I think it'll be closer to 9.5. So I'm gonna take the Bucks and the under. Yeah, could be interesting. All right, let's go to college now. Put this on here for our boy, the Fighting Ricky Pasternaks of Syracuse. Go to Virginia Tech this week on this Thursday night game. Virginia Tech 3-point favorites. Total sitting there at 47.5. Papa dude, Syracuse, they've really kind of fallen for sure. Yeah. But this Virginia Tech team isn't very good either. Who do you like in this one?
They're playing better, though. And they're at home on a Thursday night against a team that doesn't know what to, they don't know what to think. They started off really well, then they hit 3 really good teams.
Yeah.
And lost all 3 of them. They've had a week off to kind of recover a little. I like the Hokies tonight. I think they're going to win Thursday night in Black whatever it is, Blacksburg. I think that's going to be a tough game. I do for Syracuse. I like the Hokies.
Yeah, Syracuse really struggling. I would go with the Hokies as well at this one. It's another one. I think the Syracuse defense has been pretty putrid. That's the word of the day. I've used it twice. I don't think it's been very good. I'm going to go over 47.5 as well. This is another total I just kind of looked at and thought, you know what? Virginia Tech's starting to kind of figure it out just a little bit.
They're playing better.
They're at home. It's a Thursday night. The only worry with going over the 47.5 is if Syracuse doesn't show up. But I think I think they're going to come out and play pretty well. Syracuse, I feel like, is a program that knows when they go up against the big boys, they're going to get overmatched. They're here with Virginia Tech. They can match up with them better. So I think you'll see a better game from Syracuse.
Syracuse is one of those spots. If you go 7-5, that's about as good as you're going to do.
Yeah.
They just can't get over that.
Yep. And that's the problem. And like Kevin said, Syracuse got punched in the mouth and quit.
Maybe
it's because they got punched in the mouth multiple times. And when that happens, then they know we can't match up physically. And that's been the issue. You remember last year, they started off really well. They're playing those weaker teams, and then they just got ran over, basically. So they don't have the players, and that's up front.
They don't have any offense, not enough offense.
No, they don't. Absolutely not. All right, let's move on to one NHL game today. I think tonight, I should say. This is going to be a hell of a game.
Yes.
The Maple Leafs and the Stars tonight. I think this will be a great game. Like I said, it's in Dallas. Both teams playing well to kick off the season here. Toronto always plays well regular season. I think Dallas looks about as good as anybody to start. It's very early. Who you got in this one tonight?
Well, I think this is going to be a good one. Contrast in styles. You get a team that can put the puck in the net, and one that specializes in keeping the puck out of the net. And so you got Toronto that can score, and you got Dallas that's really good on defense. The game is in Dallas. They're undefeated. They do have a tie to the Blues. But I like Dallas a lot. I think they're really sneaky good, and it's in Big D, so I'm going to go with Dallas to win.
Yeah, I think Dallas gets the job done here. I'm with you on that one. I think there'll be some fireworks in this game. I think anytime you play Toronto, you can kind of count on them to get a couple. The flip side of it is Toronto not as good defensively as Dallas, so they're going to get more opportunities tonight than maybe they have in their last couple. So I'll take Dallas as well. Total sitting there at 6. That's just a toss-up.
It is.
I could see it being 3-2. I could see it being 4-2. I mean, it's going to be right at that number, I think.
It is.
Tonight. Yeah. So that should be it should be a very, very good game between the Maple Leafs and the Stars tonight. And Dennis commenting, NHL time. It is. We got to give it a couple more weeks, though. Before, you really end of or middle-ish of December is kind of when, you can get a real good feel for who these teams are.
Yep.
Betting it right now, it's a little sketchy at the moment. So, but it's heating up for sure. All right, let's get to the race of the day. Race of the day today. I picked an easy one for you.
Yeah, you did. Love these.
Keeneland race 7. This is a difficult race for sure. So Keeneland race 7 on the card here for 2-year-olds. It is an allowance going a mile and a 16th on the turf. A field of 12. The 6 is out. The 14, 15, and 16 are out. There's a 13 will run. So field of 12. I mean, this is a real toughie. Who are you going on top?
I think the favorite was 4-1, right?
Yes.
Anytime you have a race where the favorite is 4-1, that's a tough race.
Yep. It tells you they don't know who to pick, or
That's
they don't know who's going to get bet.
They don't even know who to make the favorite. And so
Right.
that means they're all just alike, or most of them are. So you kind of just go in there and kind of see who's done something that you can put a finger on. So I settled on 3 horses. I settled on the favorite, Tough Little Nut. I like that name extremely well. I settled on 5, but Tough Little Nut's number 1. Code Alarm.
Omaha.
No,
Code Omaha.
Omaha. I can't read my writing. And Forward Seeker is where I went. Those are the 3 I looked at. And I think the 5 and the 10 are going to go out, try to get the lead. They look like they've got some speed to them. And then Tough Little Nut kind of comes off. Now, I like Tough Little Nut because Brooks maiden, and then it's been in a stakes race and ran second and almost won.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Tough Little Nut to come up from behind, go set just off the pace and get those 2 at the wire and win.
It makes sense. Everything you said, I agree. This horse could be tough today. I did not go with Tough Little Nut on top. I thought about Code Omaha, who Car Ramrod mentioned. I thought about that one. I am going to use that 5 on tickets. I went with a little bit more of a price, kind of the same-ish reasoning. I went number 7, Copper Missile, on top in this one. Same-ish reasoning as you picked the 1. I'm going to go with a 7. A little bit better price. A little bit more experience than a lot of these. Has 3 races under his belt. And you said it best. I see a ton of pace. And the main reason why I said, I'll take the 7 over the 5 in this spot, I'm afraid the 5 might get caught up in a pretty hefty pace. The 13 drawing in also makes the pace heavy. So 5, 10, 13. I think the 8 could go out there as well. I think it sets up nice for number 7, Copper Missile. The race 2 back at Kentucky Downs came from way out of it to win. Then last time out, comes from out of it again. Didn't really get the best positioning, a little bit of a slow break, not a great run, not a great trip, I should say. I think with a better trip, the 7 gets the job done here at 8-1. So I went 7 on top. I did use the 5, Code Omaha. Another one that we didn't talk about, the 12, Please Advise. That's another one I'm interested in from coming out of off the pace. Just a little worried about the post, but you do have Luis Saez. Maybe he works out a trip. So I think the 12 is interesting as well. Anybody else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it. I think these are some horses to kind of watch. They're just 2-year-olds. These connections think these horses have potential because they threw them right into stakes races, a lot of them, after they broke their maidens. So these are quality horses, and the winner of this one is set up pretty good.
Yeah, Dennis and I look to be on the same horse. We'll see how that works out. But and I think for me, sometimes when I get in these spots, it's just like I'm just not going to take that morning line favorite.
No, this is one you don't do it, even though I did. This is one you don't.
Yeah.
Because it's a soft favorite to begin with. So you might, if you don't just really like the horse, go get you a long shot and see if you can hit it. But if you're playing the exotics, you better throw that horse in there. That's kind of the way I always looked at it. Because the Tough Little Nut's a decent pick. That horse has shown a little bit. So
I think the horse has shown a lot of talent. Yeah.
You got to throw it in there.
I would not be surprised at all if Tough Little Nut wins. And same with Code Omaha. It's like, I see a lot of speed, but this horse set the pace in a 5-furlong race. Now, it was at Horseshoe in Indianapolis, so a little bit different. But there's he's drawn inside of most of the other speed. I think the 5 could maybe be the speed of the speed. We'll see. It's just a really fascinating race to kind of see how this thing unfolds.
Definitely have to go deep if you're playing pick 5, pick 4s, whatever.
Yeah, I think I ended up
4.
I think ended up 4 deep in the spot. Yeah,
you got to.
It's tough. It's a tough race today.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's it for the race of the day there at Keeneland. Let's go to best bets. Magic isn't here, but he did send in a best bet today. So we will go over that one now. He went Rachaad White over 44.5 rushing yards tonight for Tampa. His reasoning was this Bills defense has not been good against the run. Buffalo's allowing 5.2 yards per attempt on the ground. That's second worst in the league. He thinks Tampa will come out and try to run the ball, control the clock a little bit, and he thinks that leads to Rachaad White going over 44.5 yards. Papa Dude, what do you think of that one?
I hope he's right. I'm rooting for Tampa tonight. I don't know. They just can't run the ball. They're just not very good. But his reasoning is sound as usual. You would think they would come out and try to establish some kind of a run game. I just don't know if they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
I've watched Tampa too much to like this. Like 44.5 yards isn't a lot, but it is a lot for him. I don't think Rachaad White's that bad, but they just handing the ball and there's nowhere to go a lot of times. It's kind of weakness versus weakness. And I think hopefully for Magic's case, Buffalo's a little weaker. So yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. It kind of give us something else to kind of watch for tonight as we watch this game. So,
yep.
All right, let's go to you. You're going to the ice. Tell us what you like.
I like a lot of things tonight, but I didn't really love any of them except this one. I really want to take Phoenix against the Lakers, but I don't know if Devin Booker is going to play. And listen, if you kind of have an intuition that he's going to play, now you better grab that 6 right now because that thing's going to go down if he plays. But Vegas is thinking he's not, and that's why Phoenix is 6-point underdog against the Lakers because I don't think they should be. Do you?
No.
So that's a problem. The other NBA game is extremely interesting as well. You got the Bucks and the 76ers, two of the best teams last year. And the Bucks are 6-point favorites over the Sixers. That's one I kind of looked at for a long time too, but there's issues in Philadelphia because of Harden and his mess. And I don't know whether that affects them or not. So anyway, so I stayed away from it. And the other reason I stayed away from it, I only missed one NBA game last night. So the law of averages are going to catch up.
Yeah.
A very good college football game tonight, too. If you're really a junkie for college football, you got Georgia State and Georgia Southern tonight. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's a big game in Conference USA against two teams that aren't fans of each other, I don't think. And then there's just tons of hockey. So I settled on this one. You got the Wings and Winnipeg, and the Wings are putting the puck in the net. They're averaging over 5 goals a game. Winnipeg, their goalie's fine. They're not known, though, for just shutting people down. And they're averaging a little over 3 a game. So over 6.5 goals, I can see this game being 4-3. I think it's going to be close. I do think it'll be a close game, which might help it because it could end in a 3-3 tie and go into overtime. I could see that going too. So I like this tonight. I like this one going over the 6.5.
Yeah, Red Wings have really, really put the puck in the net so far this season. They have been really good about that. And yeah, I'm with you. Like I think the Red Wing goalie situation it's just kind of it's not bad, it's not good. It's just like average. So Winnipeg, saw a little bit of them a couple nights ago when they played the Blues. I thought they looked like a normal Winnipeg type of team.
They're
tough.
Good.
Yep, tough defensively, can score in transition on you pretty easily if you're not careful. That's what happened. And they did give up 2 or 3 breakaways to the Blues. I mean, the Blues had their chances to score 2 and push that game over. So I like it. I told you when you texted, I said, I like that one. I think that makes sense.
I'm waiting on Detroit. I mean, how good are they? We don't know yet, but they look really good.
I think they're good. I think last year they were close to being a playoff type team. They were making a push. They just were a couple players short. I think they've slowly built that team the right way. I don't think they're a Stanley Cup contender. I definitely think they're a playoff contender
Don't you
this
think
year.
this is a big game for them tonight?
I think it's a big game, as big as the 8th game of the year can be in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's one of those games where if they win this one against a good team,
Yeah.
they're going to get to thinking, you know what, we're pretty good. It's one of
Yeah.
those games, but if Winnipeg comes in there and whoops them like 4-1 or something, that could throw them into a little bit of a tailspin. I think it's a big game for them tonight.
I think it is, yes. Again, as big as the 8th game of the season can
It's sure.
be. I think the biggest thing with them, it's like they're on a roll right now.
Yep.
2 points, it doesn't feel it, but 2 points now means the same as 2 points in March. And if you're on a roll and you're them and you're kind of a, the quote unquote underdog to get into the playoffs, you need to rack up the points when you're hot, and
Yeah.
especially at home. So
I think they're trying to prove to themselves that, hey, we're back. And
yeah.
this is a kind of game. If you are back, you're at home, you should win.
Yeah, and a few comments that I do agree with on the Red Wings here. See, where is Magic? Because he would love this talk.
I know. I know.
Kevin B said they're a wild card team, and JL, I agree with both comments. JL also says that top line is enough to get them to the playoffs, and it is. It's an extremely good line.
Yeah, exciting.
They're probably not deep enough.
No.
End of the day, what happens if you I mean, you guys that are commenting kind of knows, but people maybe don't watch the NHL. What happens is when you have a super top line, it can carry you, but eventually teams start to shut down that line, and then it filters to your second, your third, and even your fourth line at times. Can they get that secondary offense to push you through? And I think the answer with the Red Wings right now, I suspect, is no, unless they develop somebody. But that's the key to winning in hockey, is that to be able to roll 4 lines that can all go out there and score.
They can't do that yet. The other thing is, too, the more they start winning, these other teams are going to start taking them seriously. And they may not be there yet, taking them seriously.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree with that comment of Kevin's, too, all except Chicago. We don't want them to be good. So,
well, yeah, we don't, and I really couldn't care less if any of those 3 teams are good, but the NHL does need them to be good. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's definitely for sure. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens that game. I think that's going to be a lot of fun in this one. All right, let's go to mine. I'm going to go Keeneland race 3. Olga Isabel for my best bet today there at Keeneland. This should be an easy one for her. She's won 2 in a row in kind of a pretty nice fashion, including Saratoga last time out. I think she sits a nice stalking trip behind the 5 and then tips out and gets it done. So I'm going to go the 6 to win in the 3rd at Keeneland for mine to round out the best bets for today. All right, Papa Dude.
I love that name. You had Francisco Clemente or something like that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a horse. The name sounds like a German spy against the Nazis in World War II. You got Olga Isabel.
I tried to cover all the basics.
You do.
And old Francisco came through for us the other day.
That's right. So let's hope Olga's got it going today as well.
I thought it sounded like a grandma name or something. I don't know.
She would be a grandma had she been alive now. If she had been a Nazi spy, she would be a very old lady.
Gotcha.
That's hilarious.
Well, let's so Kevin B, big Penn State fan. He's we're on to Indiana. James Franklin should be fired, and Ohio State still sucks. Yeah, sorry, Kevin. I thought about you all day. Not all day, but when we were following that score, because I know you're such a big fan. 2 things that I wanted to comment before we get off the air here. What time does Dudes Who Bet Sports start? In 34 minutes. We're going to go at noon today, noon Central Time. Dudes Who Bet Sports right here. So we got to get off here so we could have a little bite to eat and then come right back and do that show. Real quick on that one, I'm looking forward to that show because I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something that might surprise you, Papa Dude.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm going to admit.
I have to react.
I'm going to admit that I was wrong.
Oh my God.
Yes. And I'm going to admit that I was terribly, embarrassingly wrong about something. So that'll be fun.
Oh, this is going to be good. Yeah.
You already know what it is because I've told you. I admitted it to you Saturday that how wrong I was about something.
I can't remember. So,
well, that's why we got to go over it again. Also, there was a comment. We may talk about this more on our show. Anyone watching Goosebumps? Do you know what Goosebumps? Do you remember the books, the Goosebumps books?
Okay. I do remember the books, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all.
So, Christopher, I saw the show. So I saw the show on the app, right?
It's a Netflix thing or what?
I think it's on. I saw it on Hulu. He's saying it's on Disney, but I saw it on Hulu.
Okay.
I looked at Heather and I said, "Oh my gosh, there's a new Goosebumps." I loved these books as a kid.
Yeah,
I was probably like 4th grade.
R.L. Stine was the author.
Yeah, R.L. Stine, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I read them all. Loved them. Haven't read a book since. But anyway, I told Heather, "Oh my God, the Goosebumps." She goes, "What? What is that?" Heather did not know what it was.
She didn't know Andy Griffith.
She said, "You mean that show in the 90s?" Like Shoddy said. And I said, "No, the book." She goes, "I didn't read any of those." I was like, "God damn." Like,
do you remember the 90s show?
I didn't I didn't watch it, but I knew there was a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen, I want to watch them though, is this moral of the story. I may watch probably after the Breeders' Cup. I will watch them. But yeah. Are you married to a 20-year-old? No. But do you want to know something? Exactly. Mark says, all I read was Goosebumps growing up. Of course, because you're a normal person. And by the way, Heather's my age, but she never read them. But yeah, Mark, of course you did. Of course. Okay. Are you married to a 20-year-old? No. However, today is our 16th wedding anniversary.
Is that right? Go.
So we're almost been married as long as that 20 years there.
Yeah.
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 Jared is the one who dates 20-year-olds. Yeah, there's the problem. So
I'm going to show you. Last night, we probably ought to just save this for our show, but
okay.
Since you're talking about it now, I was watching Jimmy Kimmel from the night before because we don't stay up that place, so we tape it.
Right.
I'm going to show you guys something. Olivia Rodrigo. You ever heard of her?
Yes.
You have?
I've heard of her.
Well, I hadn't.
Okay.
But anyway, I watched it. And so today I went on YouTube and listened to some of her stuff. She's pretty good.
Olivia Rodrigo is very good. Yes.
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 I was impressed.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, look at well, he ain't sick. There he is.
Yeah. Magic. He lied. He definitely lied. Yeah, no, my lunch is dwindling away.
Yeah, we gotta go. But mine too. But I think she's very similar to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think she's good. Yeah,
I mean, her music's got an edge to it.
No, I agree. I like it. Yeah,
yeah,
I like her.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll do it. I was going to talk about something else, but anyway, no, I don't remember what it was.
We can do it for the next show.
Yep, let's go best bets. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring back the messing around during that show. We've been too serious lately.
I got a little bit more to that story. I don't know how many guys watched it, probably nobody, but what Kimmel did with her last night is hilarious.
What? Talk about it on our show.
Yeah, I'm going to.
We got to get something to eat first.
That's right.
So, all right, here's the picks for today. I'm going to go Keeneland, race 3, number 6. Magic's going Rashad White over 44.5 rushing yards. And then Papa Dude's going Detroit, Winnipeg over 6.5. Obviously, we're 0-0 for the week. This is our first show. However, last week we started the show down $9 for the year. Yep. Now we are up $441 for the year. By the way, guys, we were down $1,000 for the year last year on this show. So we ended down right around 1,000. So we are ahead of pace. We got to keep it up. That's the key. We got to get it done. We need another big week. Let's get to a comfortable number this week. That is the goal. So, all right, guys, we're going to get off here now. We got to go eat lunch. We'll be back to see you in 29 minutes for Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's going to be a good one. All right, guys.
We'll lead off with Olivia Rodrigo.
We will lead off with Olivia Rodrigo. I love it. That will be the lead in. So that's just a little tease For all of you that are left, Olivia Rodrigo, 29 minutes away.